Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss JD once again for another unique episode. And this time around, I will be covering our crypto assets. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've noticed a lot of the popular cryptos or tokens are on the green side as we speak right now. So I think it's really worth discussing. And for those people who are also into crypto trading or investing, I think you will love this video. Okay, so if this is the first time you're watching my video, this is Miss JD. I do review stocks in the Philippine market, US, and sometimes cryptocurrencies like this one. Okay, so if you want to be updated with all of my videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Okay, so let's get started. So I'd like to first discuss BNB, USDT, or Binance Coin. All right. So if you've noticed in the past how many weeks this coin has been on a very bearish move, and that is because SEC filed a case against them, and the reason being is they were secretly allowing a big US investors to trade in Binance because um, we all know that they are not supposed to be engaging in Binance, as we know, right? Because of non-adherence, or they were not able to file, I think, they were not able to register it in SEC. So I don't have the full details there, but secretly, um, Binance was collaborating with another organization, and that was the workaround for these big players to invest in Binance, right? So that was the reason. So they have a pending case that's currently still ongoing. But looking at the technicals at the moment, right, we are seeing a very, for me, I find this very bullish because we've broken out of the downtrend channel. If we are able to end this day with this successful green candlestick above the MA20 line, then I can say that in terms of technicals, we could be reversing soon. And especially if just using my Bollinger Band, if we are going to start to trigger the upper Bollinger Band, then that would mean indeed we might see continuation to the upside. So I've been mentioning this in my previous videos. A Bollinger Band is very, uh, for me, I find it super effective as an indicator. As you notice right here, remember during this time, when the Bollinger Band was triggered to the downside, there was a continuation. The same rule applies when we start going up. If we start to trigger the upper Bollinger Band, then you will see most likely a continuation to the upside. Where could our next resistance be? At the moment, I see in the short term a resistance somewhere at the 274.40. So what is our game plan here? If you would like to trade by BNB, just watch out intraday if you still have the time. At this point, you can probably try to adjust your time frame into a faster time frame, and at any time there's an opportunity whereby price revisits the 240 level. That's the time you can probably do test buys, and your call. You can just lock in some gains on its way up. This one can give you, if you really want to wait up to the 14% gain, then you can. But just a disclaimer, just be mindful that there is an ongoing case here. So I suggest that anytime you see possible resistance levels, lock in some gains because we really cannot tell, or we don't know what's going to happen in the near future, but just on the defensive side. But if your allocation is something that you are willing to risk, then go for it. Because if we are to look at it on a weekly chart, this token has dropped significantly. So you can even wait for it to move a little higher because we have dropped tremendously. So if you want, you can wait for 651. That is if you want to wait a little longer, because we do not know the time element involved here. It might take, the crypto world is so extreme. This 1 year, 2 years worth of drop could be redeemed in just 2 to 3 days. You really cannot tell. But at this point, we are moving within the support area on a weekly chart. So here, the resistance I plotted is just very, very near where we are right now. So just realistic levels if you want to consider that. That's for BNB. Now let's take a look at maybe Shiba Inu. All right, so Shiba Inu is also starting to trigger the above the MA20 movements, right? So this could already mean a beginning of an uptrend. So if this is something that you consider, this is now creating a higher low. Right over here, when it moved up, it dropped. This level is much higher than the previous low, which was, I would say this was the bottom already, because we were at the oversold level. Now, if it is going to continue to move to the upside, then chances are it will create a higher high. If the entire crypto space is going to sustain its bullish movement. One thing I've noticed, this normally happens over a weekend. In the past few weeks and months, I've noticed each time we have, during the weekends, we have high volatility in these stocks, or I mean, in this assets, right? So right now we are still very near a possible support, and at the moment I'd like to plot that at the MA20 line. So watch out for it. If you're able to time the market today until tomorrow, then that will be good for you. At the same time, if you'd like to, let's say, you want to understand which part or which level are we at in terms of possible resistance, that's when I put, but that's when I adjust my chart weekly, so I have a clearer view, right? So sometimes it takes a few weeks for this level to be reached, so you can just go back and try to uh, validate this a few weeks after. At the moment, I'm plotting this area, too many zeros, 978, last three digits. So there you have it. That's the short-term resistance. Okay, the area where I plotted my support is actually, remember that it is an area, so it could be a little higher. That's the beauty of you plotting it on a weekly chart, so you have a cleaner view. Earlier it was on a daily chart, so with me adjusting it, I see a much clearer line now. This area I adjusted a little bit downwards, 662, ending in 662. That's the support that I see. Now, trying to look at it on a on the RSI side. So remember when the price does a double bottom and your RSI is starting to climb up, then momentum is picking up. So right over here, if you go all the way up here, that's the area, right? And then it revisited that level again, but your RSI is a bit higher than the previous point. So that simply means that we are approaching, or we are about to change our direction, right? So that is Shiba Inu. Now let's talk about Doge. So I'm just randomly picking the most popular tokens. Now, for Doge, you're also moving sideways. The Bollinger Band is very constricted. Right over here, we're sitting at a support area. There you have it. Now, if you want to see that on a daily chart, you would also know. On a daily chart, we're starting to really become more bullish, starting to trigger the upper Bollinger Band here, but still we're very constricted. But that's the beauty of it being constricted, because the moment it starts to trigger on the upper side, then movements could be significant, big moves like this one, right? It's just that it's only short-lived. People took profit right away and then it dropped. So now, what I can see here is that if we end today, or I'm using Philippine time, it's already 12:34 a.m. So in the next few hours, we will be able to close this day. And if we are able to have to end outside of the Bollinger Band, chances are the following day, um, there will be a continuation. But this definitely shows that we have officially broken the only if we end green, right? If we end green right here, that signifies that we have officially broken out of that downtrend. Why? Because of this MA20 line. So we have officially ended the day above that. So that is a good sign. Although you have to also be observant as to how our volume is moving. So guys, volume is not there yet. Still very minimal, staying flat, right? So that means if we are going to have some bullish movements, chances are it might be short-lived or it might revisit previous support, which is around the MA20 line. So those are my 2 cents for Doge. So better for crypto as a whole, because movements are so fast, try to lock in gains as much as you can, right? Unlike stocks, like you can stay there for mid to long term, but my take here is that because crypto is highly volatile, you think they're already up here, but when it drops, it swings down all the way like a landslide. So this can happen. These things can happen. So I suggest once you're happy with some levels or you're at the resistance area, try to lock in your gains. If you don't want to pull everything out, just a fraction of it. Next would be Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum went ahead yesterday, and right now we're seeing some signs of slowing down. We're not overbought yet, we're just halfway, but it's just that we might be approaching a resistance level. This is not final because the day is not over yet, so maybe this one could even intraday before the market ends. Well, there's no end because it's 24/7. Before we transition to the next day, this might even reach this level. Okay, but I think this will also follow because the other stocks or other crypto assets that we have just covered today, they're already on the green side. So chances are it might even follow that. It's just that yesterday they went ahead and this was already green. Some might have just locked in their gains, and within the day, this might also recover too. We're above the MA20 line, so that's nice. Um, did we drop? Yes, definitely. Previously, this token has already reached the 4,800 level. So as you can see right here, we're already at the quite at the bottom part, but slowly, do you see that? We're moving baby steps, moving higher and higher each time. So that is Ethereum. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trying to consolidate somewhere here on the high side. So sometimes that could also mean a positive thing because uh, people are already starting to, they're a bit undecided, but I think majority of them are still hanging in there. So chances are if we will have some movements above that rectangular um, box that I created, if we end one candlestick higher than this, then that would mean a breakout. Okay, so I'll show you one example over here. So this is like it's like a flag pattern, right? I just cannot memorize all the terms, but it is giving me a flag pattern. So here, when it went up, it consolidated somewhere here, and then eventually it broke that pattern. So just read. more about it, or maybe in the future I can create a video about it. A flag pattern can also be used in the stocks, not just in crypto. But at the moment, this is the formation that I see. So hopefully, this eventually breaks out of that 31,000 level. At the same time, yeah, we're just beginning to recover because at one point we also reached the 65, 66,000 level. We're not, and here's the thing, um, that's why I'm not rejoicing as of yet, because look at the difference in the volume. Right, volume is not picking up as of yet. But one thing good in this scenario is that, look, we're trying to build up this volume over here, and we know that this is already the bottom, meaning investors already go, they find this already a cheap level. That's why a lot of them are already getting in. Now there's a decline, a correction that happened, but look at the volume. Volume is way lower, meaning not a lot of people are letting go. A lot of our investors are still holding on to their positions, and just a small portion of them locking in profit, selling their positions. But now, with this, with a coin moving higher, what we wanted to achieve is that as we go higher and higher, like this one, as we go higher and higher, the volume should also move up, and that is not happening as of yet. So just expect some volatility in the coming days. It might even go back to the MA20 area before it takes off fully. That is for Bitcoin. Okay, so I think yeah, those are the most popular coins. Oh wait, hold on. XRP. XRP, I also like this because whenever I transfer um, funds, right, from my crypto wallet to here in the country, in the Philippines, I use coins.ph. I use, I convert it to XRP first and then transfer it to coins.ph because the fees are way, way lower. So that's why I love XRP because of that. Now, at the moment, so this coin has taken off, pulled back a bit, went back again. And at the moment, we are still moving below the MA20 line. So I think this is your opportunity. If you want to get in here, you might be able to catch this at a way cheaper level. So I will plot it here just in case this breaks down, because unless I see this coin crossing above the MA20 line, that's the only time I shift my perspective. At this point, we are still on the bearish side. I only base my assumptions on what I see. It's still red, okay? So like this one, if it goes above the MA20 line, then chances are it will first stabilize, create a brand new support, then take off. But right now, this is not happening as of yet. Okay, so let us wait for that one candlestick to cross the MA20 line before we can say, okay, it is now recovering officially. But in case the market continues to drop, just know that the next support is right over here. There's actually one here, right here, okay, because this one, I see this, and this one as well, right? So those are the key areas to watch out for in case you want to catch it, right? So those are the coins I have reviewed for you today. Just be extra careful, guys. Crypto is another kind of animal. Unlike stocks, these tokens can be very, very volatile. So please follow your risk management strategy. If you have set stop loss or cut loss levels, execute that right away, because if it drops into double digits, it's going to be harder for you to let go. Because once you let go, it's a done deal, it's a loss. and it depends whether that's something that you're willing to swallow in terms of loss. That's why from the very beginning you have to manage your allocations. Only engage some funds that you're willing to really fully risk. Okay, for now I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe for more. Bye bye.